friends, I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be taking you with me as I go thrifting through a flea market. I am going to Lucketts, Virginia. The Lucketts Store puts on flea markets the first Saturday of every month during the summer, June through September. And it's a great way for local vendors to just kind of clear out some of their old inventory before the holiday season. And it's a good place to get some good deals and just find some really unique treasures. So I'll be taking you with me today as I go through and do that. And then I also have a really big and exciting announcement to share with you. So let's go. The Lucketts Store is located in Lucketts, Virginia, which is in the Loudoun County, Northern Virginia area. And it's very well known as a beautiful vintage store. They put on markets twice a year. It's a really beautiful way to spend a day and look around. They have grounds that are beautiful and are filled with beautiful treasures. And then the store itself is just curated beautifully by all the different vendors. And so these flea markets are just done in the summer, and they are done the first Saturday of every month, June through September. And it's just a great way for vendors to kind of clear out some of their older inventory when the summer months are a little slower. And you'll get anything from kind of yard sale type materials all the way up to the more curated booths like this one. I tried to tag all the people that I could who had their social media up there. Some of them had such beautiful work. You should definitely go and check them out and see their finds. I was amazed at everything that I found here, and I did bring some goodies home with me. Overall, I felt like the prices at this flea market were very reasonable. These vendors are only sitting up for one day, so they have to set everything up and then take everything down in one day. And so they really don't want to pack it up and bring it back home if they don't have to. So they are willing to make you a deal if you would like, or bundle some items together, which is really nice. I really wish I had bought these Crocs. I don't know why I didn't buy them. They were great prices. Now that I'm looking back on it, I wish I had bought them. This particular vendor was one of the more curated vendors. She had a lot of refinished furniture and a good variety of things from small to big in terms of her pieces. And so I did a lot of shopping around in this space, and I think I actually bought all of my items from this vendor. And I wish that I had gotten her social media because I didn't, and I'm sure she had it displayed somewhere and I somehow missed it. But she had a lot of really lovely items, and so I picked up a few pieces here, including a beautiful painting. Then, of course, you can also walk around the outdoor area at Lucketts where they have a lot of vendors. They have little cabin-type houses, and each one has a different vendor. And the vendors switch up their treasures all the time and for every season, and it's just so fun and inspirational to go walk around the areas and get some ideas or find a new treasure for your home. All right, friends, we are back from the flea market, and I have a great haul to share with you. I got some good things from there, as well as just some other items from Goodwill and some other places locally that I'm gonna throw into this haul as well. So I have a nice big haul for you. And then I also wanna share with you some exciting news. A little backstory about me, for those who don't know. I have been painting and refinishing furniture for at least 10 years, and just doing custom, selling out of my home. Then I moved to having a booth space, a vintage booth, and then I opened an Etsy shop, and that's where we are today. And so that is kind of my path that has led me to where I am, and I'm excited to share that I have a new booth space. I closed my old one and I moved to a new shop that is in the Loudoun County, Northern Virginia area. So if you like Lucketts and those types of items in Lucketts Store, this one is right down the road. I'm going to be opening a space at Whim Antiques, which is right down the road from Lucketts, and it's in Leesburg, Virginia, and it's a beautiful shop, and it's actually in kind of a cul-de-sac with a couple of other vintage stores as well. So it's really a nice way to just spend a day going antiquing all through that space and then up to Lucketts. It's a really nice way to spend a day. So if you are local, you can look for me at Whim, and I am on the main level. I'm kind of mixed throughout. Another vendor and I are sharing spaces, and so you can look for my Point and Polish logo, that's how you know it's mine, on the tag. And I will show you some little clips of my space at the end of the video so you can get kind of a feel for what it's looking like. So without further ado, let's go to this week's haul. Look at this beautiful original oil painting signed by the artist. A stunning, stunning piece with like a mom and a daughter looking out at the sailboats. Just a really beautifully, beautifully done piece. And it has a nice frame on it, gold framing, and it was only $35, which I think is fantastic for original oil painting of this size. And this one I am going to be keeping. I have a whole gallery wall in my house. We call it our blue room, and I just put a lot of different oil paintings and other pieces of art that I have thrifted up there, and so this will be joining probably that space, if not another space in my home, because it is too beautiful to let go of. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So from that same vendor, I got just a couple little items. I got this really pretty allspice jar made in Germany, blue and white, and I think it's beautiful obviously to display in your kitchen, but I think you could even turn it around and like put your toothpicks in it. You could use it in your bathroom, put your Q-tips in it, things like that. These types of really pretty little containers can really be repurposed nicely. It was only $1, and I just thought it was too pretty to pass up. And I was going with a blue and white theme here, apparently, at that vendor. I got this little Roseville pottery crock, just a little one. I think these are beautiful. So many uses for them. I think this one was $5. So I brought that home. Then I also got these little salt and pepper shakers, little 2 teapots. Y'all have been around a while, you know I love teapots, and salt and pepper shakers sell very well on my Etsy shop and in my booth. So I got that little set. They still have their little cork stoppers. They're made in Japan, have beautiful crazing on them and the little hand-painted details. I just love those. I think they were either $3 for the set or $5 for the set, and I just couldn't pass them up. So all 3 of those little items will be on my Etsy. I also went to Goodwill this week and got a set of 4 of these milk glass vases with that pretty flower top. I love this style. They're great for a bud vase. And a lot of people use these as wedding decor. I've actually sold a set of them on Etsy before, so I was trying to build more sets to sell. So I was excited when I came across 4 of these, and they were $2 each. Another Goodwill find that I just couldn't pass up, it's kind of different, but it was too cute to pass up, are these pottery mugs. They look brand new. I don't think they've ever been used. They're stamped, I believe, right here from the maker. And I saw this one first, and I thought, well, that's really cute. And I saw this one, and I was like, oh, it's Pooh Bear and Eeyore. I can't leave Pooh Bear and Eeyore. They're handmade, they're so sweet, and they look brand new. I looked all over to see if I could find the other characters, Piglet, Tigger. Couldn't find them, but I do have Pooh Bear and Eeyore, so those will be available on my Etsy. They're only 99 cents each. I just couldn't leave them behind. In my booth space, I have a whole collection of glassware, and that's actually been the most popular thing in my booth space so far. I've only been there a couple weeks and have sold lots of glassware. And so I have a little section that has a lot of apothecary type jars, some bigger, medium, all different sizes. And I just think these are the prettiest way to kind of jazz up your space in an unexpected way. Again, with putting your Q-tips, your cotton balls, things like that from your vanity in one of these just makes you feel a little pretty when you're getting ready in the morning. So I have a lot of this size and some other big ones available in my booth space. It was only $1.50, and I just think these are such a pretty and inexpensive way to kind of jazz up your ordinary life. And the last thing that I got at Goodwill is this really pretty etched copper plate. I have a couple of these on my Etsy, and I just can never turn them down. I just think they're so beautiful. They're etched and they're also painted and solid copper. This one was $4, and I just think they're so beautiful, so detailed. It's something that I could never make myself, and so I really appreciate when I see artwork that I know took someone a long time and a lot of expertise to make. So this one will be available on my Etsy. At one of my local stores, I found this piece, and it's hard to show you, but it actually has a horse there on it, and this is a horseshoe, and it's a little, I don't know if it was originally an ashtray, trinket tray, but I think that would just be perfect for your jewelry, things like that, if you have a horse lover in your life. And it was only $2, so I grabbed that. These types of pieces made by Avon are really good quality. Nice thick glass, they last forever, and I thought that was a really pretty, unique one. I also have a couple of items that have already made it into my booth, and so I will show them in a video right now. Those items were from one of my local shops, and as soon as I found them, I just had to put them right in because they just kind of fit the space so perfectly.
First up is the solid brass cane holder or umbrella holder. It has these peacocks embossed all over the front of it. Really detailed and beautiful piece. I couldn't find any quite like this in my research, and I just found it lovely, so it went straight into the booth. And then I also found this beautiful handmade signed pottery jug. I think this is a gorgeous piece with such beautiful colors, so that one went straight into the booth as well.
I also found a couple books this week. Those have been popular on my Etsy, and so I found these two. There's two of them. They're children's books, and I love the pictures on the front of them. One of them, the other one's a little more stained on the front. This one is in a better condition, but they have beautiful pictures, really bright colors. These are children's readers. This one's from 1955, and they just have a lot of beautiful stories and pictures in them, and so I had to grab those. This is the other one. They're called The Bookshelf for Boys and Girls, and it's number 7 and number 8. So this one is about nature topics, and then this one is stories from every land. So those will also be available on my Etsy. A lot of times people will ask me, where do you find your items? Where are the best deals? And I have to say, yard sales and estate sales. That is where I find the best stuff. The most unique items and for the best prices. Especially yard sales, because people do not want to bring it back into their house. They're trying to clean out their house. They want it gone. They'll make you a deal. And so this time of year is when there are lots of yard sales and estate sales. So I have been hitting them up lately, and I'm going to show you some things I found. This is one of my favorite finds. This beautiful hobnail milk glass cake stand in perfect condition. I just love milk glass of any kind, but this hobnail style is so beautiful and so classic, so timeless. This would be pretty to use in a wedding, but also just for day-to-day life. I mean, it's beautiful, and you don't need to use it for a cake. You could do a whole little display on here. I think it'd be so pretty at Christmas with some Christmas houses and some fake snow and things like that. Gorgeous piece. And I think it was only either $2 or $3. What a deal. Again, I said glassware has been popular in my booth space, so I picked up a couple pieces. This one is just a really pretty glass dish. Again, pretty for a vanity, and it was only $1. And so it has these really pretty flowers on the sides. Love that. This piece is large. It's actually crystal, and it's a beautiful lidded piece. And I think it was only $5. The person who I got this from, it was a estate sale, and they were just trying to get rid of it. I think it was probably like their second weekend of the estate sale, and they were just trying to get rid of everything. So this one was $5. And then another little thing that I found at that same estate sale is this little set for perfume. I think it's so beautiful. They have the cut or pressed glass little pieces with the stoppers, and then it comes with a little mirrored tray as well. And the whole set together was $2. So I think that's so pretty, and it's so nice to stage in my booth. Kind of draws the eye into a space. And the last thing that I found are a couple of these pyrograph boxes. And these, back in the day, were one of those original DIY kits. They would give you the box and all of the tools, and you would actually burn the designs into them yourself, and then you could give it as a gift. Or they would sell them already pre-made, and you could give it as a gift that way. And so I think that's kind of fun because it's one of those original DIY type gifts from back in the day. And I think these are a beautiful gift. Or also, you could use them as even a riser in your decor because there's so much detailing on the side, and I think you could place things on top. This one is obviously for ties, has that burned into it, and it has just such beautiful detailing around it. And what I'm gonna do is actually rejuvenate the wood so that it's not as dry, and I'm going to replace the lining inside for each of them and put some fresh velvet lining so that they can actually be used again for many years to come. So I have this one that says ties. My favorite one is the handkerchiefs one. That's beautiful. Add some fresh liner in that, and I think that's just such a pretty little piece to have. You could just have it propped up like this, or you could use it as a box. And then I also have a nautical themed one that has boats all over it. I don't think I'm gonna put liner in this one because it has such pretty boats already on the inside, but I will rejuvenate the wood on that one. And so those will all be available in my Etsy when I get them done. So that is it for the thrift haul and the flea marketing this week. I hope you enjoyed that. And now I'm gonna give you a little glimpse into my space at On a Whim. As I said, it is ever changing. Building an antique and vintage booth takes time. And so from week to week, it'll look totally different, but I am excited to give you a glimpse of it as I change it and refresh it from month to month. And if you're local, feel free to stop by and let me know if you did stop by the shop. It's such a beautiful place to visit. So many creative and beautiful vendors in that space. And until next time, friends, happy thrifting.